lane fast, call it high speed. I've been working hard, yeah, I've been working nightly. If you think you'll win, ha, not fucking likely. I be taking shots, yeah, cold-blooded, icy. Watching numbers grow is what I call sightseeing. In the front row, run it up when they hype me. The following grows, they know how to ignite me. Call me CEO, I've been running shit right, see. And I ain't playing games, I create my own lane, making pleasure out of pain, turning losses into gains, I'm the boss, I'm making change. I've been rocking this exchange, popping off and risking things, gonna make a fucking name. I just wanna be famous, but I don't want that cheap fame. No, I'm not that vain, I just wanna be greatness. 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 Ain't no motherfucker in this world can do it like me. Open up your eyes and insert a little rising. You don't have to love me, you don't have to like me. Got enough love in myself and my psyche. You should have the same in your brain nightly. If you wanna taste, bitch, you can fucking try me. If you wanna hate, bitch, you know where to find me. And if you go and hate this, you can fucking bite me. Okay, I'm going off every chance I get. I don't really take a loss, well, I'll admit. That's why I'll make it to the top, yeah, I commit. And no, I'm never getting lost, I get after it. Investing in my own stock, cause it's faster than any crypto hits go, let me spend. Everything that you see is something I invent, and it's only a percent. I'm gonna take shots, if I miss all, forget it. I'll take a fat loss just to learn all that's in it. I'm taking snapshots, learning how to fall and get it. I'm getting back up, always stand tall, don't sweat it. I never back up, I don't miss a thing or regret it. I'm always learning, you could call me academic. I'm always working, never been apathetic. Bad energy is like a poison, needs some antiseptic. Ain't no motherfucker in this world can do it like me. Open up your eyes and insert a little rising. You don't have to love me, you don't have to like me. Got enough love in myself and my psyche. You should have the same in your brain nightly. If you wanna taste, bitch, you can fucking try me. If you wanna hate, bitch, you know where to find me. And if you go and hate this, you can fucking fight me. Ain't no motherfucker in this world can do it like me. Open up your eyes and insert a little rising. You don't have to love me, you don't have to like me. Got enough love in myself and my psyche. You should have the same in your brain nightly. If you wanna taste, bitch, you can fucking try me. If you wanna hate, bitch, you know where to find me. And if you go and hate this, you can fucking bite me. Ain't no motherfucker in this world can do it like me. Open up your eyes and insert a little rising. You don't have to love me, you don't have to like me. Got enough love in myself.
Hello, 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 everybody. How you doing on this beautiful Sunday afternoon?
Hello.
Hello, hello.
Ooh, Ala Volta was first, y'all. Look at that. Little Devil LTT's been a member for 16 months. Oh my gosh, I can't believe that. Hey, Mazakin, you can have a reading. I don't typically do that, but you know, I think you're a beautiful person. I see wonderful things coming in your life. There you go. That's about as far as I can go with the reading. Georgette, Bree. CJ, you already up here. Indigo. Oh, how's everybody doing? Hey, Mia.
All right. How are you?
Fabulous.
Hey, Dukes. Somebody said, hey, Dukes. Where I miss Dukes.
Yeah, you did.
Dukes is here. Dukes, hello. Like Dukes Mayo. Mayonnaise.
I'm not a fan.
Dukes, really? I think Dukes Mayo is really good, actually.
Yeah, a lot of people say that, but I don't know. It was different.
You're more like
Hellman's. Yeah.
Hellman's. Yeah. It's good though. It's good. I mean, they got so many different kind of mayos. It's unreal. All right, we'll see if we can get through this live without being interrupted.
Mm.
We'll see. We'll see. Yeah. See, she's a shame on you, Dukes. Man, is just the best. Oh, now we're gonna have a debate over Hellman's or Dukes. You know, Hellman's or Dukes. Yeah. But yeah, we had we're trying to take this. We're going to take this back a little bit. You know, I know we get on here and we talk about different things happening on YouTube, different things in life, whatever. But today we're going to take this back. What the channel was kind of started on, or like our topics. And it's just been brought to my attention, domestic violence and what that looks like, and that a lot of people think that it is simply someone hitting you, physically making contact with you, throwing that punch, doing the choking, whatever, right? And I've thought that for a long time as well. And I think we forget about all of the other things that fall under that category. And I think it is important for men and women to understand everything that it entails, because it's not just the physical aspect of it.
Correct.
And it's always very interesting when you do start looking back at it, and I did see a thing the other day, I think it was yesterday, I saw it, where it was about therapy, because some people may tell you how crazy you are, they may tell you this is all your fault, all this, that you need help, you need therapy, right? But then you may start therapy and therapists may not tell you that you're the crazy one. They may tell you that there's some serious issues going on and it's not on your end. Because being reactive to something or someone, what they're doing, doesn't make you the crazy one. It makes you reactive. And a lot of times I think people don't like it if they say something and you react, or you have an opinion of things. Like, I don't know, has anybody ever been told that you're negative? You're such a negative person. And you're like, give me an example. And they can't give you an example, but as soon as you say something that you're not happy with, you express your opinion on something and how it's making you feel, that is when they say, see, right there, you're being negative. Yeah, that's not being negative. Stating how something makes you feel, that's not being negative.
No, and
No.
it may make that person feel a negative way, but it's because they don't want to hear the truth.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, and I do think this has come to light, like, there's so many different facets to domestic violence. And people may not want to see that about themselves or to see it about someone else. You could be living in denial about it, but it is. There's a lot of things, and I did it the easy way, guys. And I do have there's some really good self-help books out there. You can go to the library and check them out. You can buy them online. You can go download them on Kindle, Amazon, Audible. So you don't even have to read it. You can just listen to it. There are some really good books out there that can kind of help you with things as well. And they're all things that
LTT,
help me a lot.
Little Devil, everybody that spoke to me, I'm sorry. Y'all know me. Y'all know my MO. Hey, y'all, hey.
I know, you need Jenna up here to tell it. You're not paying attention to chat. Look at it.
Yeah, y'all can blame Jenna for not.
Right. So is it my job to shout at Charlie Girl today then?
She's not.
No,
Yeah, you can.
no. Only Jenna can do that.
Oh, okay. Well, Jenna tries to keep us in line, but
The only way you can do that is if you actually do, speak to everybody in our, since we're not.
yes. Yeah, LGBT emotional abuse lasts a long time. It really does. And I've got, look, what I did was I just went and screenshotted some stuff off of Google real quick. And
Now, did you screenshot Google or Susan's Google? We,
I
we
don't
gotta,
have.
we
I
gotta
don't
make,
have.
okay, we gotta make sure that you went to the right
I
source.
I don't. No. You know what? I very quickly deleted Susan's Google off of my phone. I thought, oh my gosh, I
Okay,
can't believe I'm making
good,
this life.
good.
It's gone. Okay.
Sometimes it can be deceiving, so
Yeah. No.
there's
I had
Ryan.
to do away. I did away with that immediately, and I said, no more. I cannot have this on here because
Right.
I, you know, I was deceived. I thought it was truthful, but it was not. Yeah.
That's some AI Googles what that is.
Something. I'm telling you, it's something. So what I did just kind of simplify it, and for the further, the more different ones I cover on it, I'll go more into depth.
Yeah.
But I just thought, for this one, we'll just kind of do a highlight, maybe talk about a few of them, but not really go too far into depth on them. I'm trying to see. Okay.
Because
This
it's
one
true,
here.
there's so many types of domestic abuse that people don't think about and they don't realise, you know.
And you have to forgive me if I have them in order. I hope I do not. They should not be, but this is just a little thing, and it's on Google. You can Google it, and you can see it. It just types of domestic and family violence, right? Because domestic violence is not always within the family. It can come from all kinds of sources. You can see, controlling behaviors, physical violence, sexual violence, image-based abuse, emotional, psychological abuse, verbal abuse, social abuse, spiritual, religious, and cultural abuse, elder abuse, lateral violence. And let me see. Where's the other one? There it is. Technology facilitated abuse or tech abuse, stalking and harassment, and reproductive abuse. And guys, there's even more than this, and that's what's really sad. But these are just some of the big ones that pop up, right? And these are a lot of them that we just don't. Hold on one second. Hold on. Hold on
Hey,
one second.
Madison. Hey, Dukes.
Hey, everyone.
She must have her stuff out of order.
Yeah. And it's sad because there is so many different types of domestic violence, of being abused within a relationship, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I had to reel that in there. Sorry, y'all. You know how things are sometimes. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
mom's doing something. Go in there and go bug her. You know. It was fine until mama starts doing something. Sending in the troops.
Lord, don't try to go to the bathroom because you know how that goes.
Oh my goodness.
Look,
Yeah.
what are you doing in there?
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
I don't know. There's but there's a lot of different, you know, forms, a lot of things that go on, a lot of things that happen, and there's just been some stuff that I've been hearing lately, and I'm like, oh my gosh, one thing that I think is absolutely disgusting, is someone being told they're the problem, everything is their fault, everything.
yep.
Gaslighting 101.
In a household, it can't. What I'm saying, if it's happening in your house, if you're telling someone that this is all your fault, it's all your problem, right? And perhaps they've been told that for years, and they actually believe it until a light bulb goes off, right? and then they start seeing it, and then they start talking about it, and they're like, whoa, wait a minute, you know. It's just very sad what I've been seeing happen lately. Y'all are going through it. I feel bad. You know, I'm like, oh my goodness. How could somebody do that to someone? And this is the thing. When someone is worked up to try to convince everyone how horrible a person someone is, and they say to you, everyone hates you, they can't stand you. Everyone in this house and outside of it.
Hey, Mackenzie.
One, I'm going to tell you that is not someone who is loving. They absolutely are not capable of love. No matter how mad you are at someone, to hurt someone, try to hurt someone in that way is disgusting. And you know, if you're going through that and you look back and you go, how long have I been going through this? How long have they been saying these things? Maybe question that. Really look into that. Because one, if it's your spouse going and telling everyone how horrible of a person you are, or maybe you're confiding in them, because you know, a husband and wife, right? In my opinion, spouse, we'll say spouse, because it can be husband, wife, right? Doesn't matter. Your spouse, right? They're supposed to be, in my mind, your sounding board. That's the person you're supposed to be able to go to and tell anything to, and not have it leave the two of you, right?
Right.
And when you see that happen, where they go and they immediately go tell the other person everything you said, trying to be, what that is they're trying to look like the good guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Quote unquote good guy, and make you look absolutely horrible.
Mm-hmm.
Why? What is wrong with
They're
somebody who
trying to
does
get to
that?
the other person before you do so that they can spin the narrative.
Well, I I don't know. I mean, obviously, if the person saying anything to you in confidence was going to say something to that person, they would have already said something to them. You know, you voicing frustration about a situation or something to someone, I'm just saying that person is not safe for you to be around.
Right.
That's not your go-to. So if your spouse is doing that, or your best friend is doing that, they're not your spouse and they're not your friend. They're not capable of love. They're not capable of any kind of emotional support for you. And those are huge red flags to pay attention to. Huge red flags, in my opinion. And this is
Okay.
just something I've been sitting back, watching, seeing things, and I'm like, honey, that's not okay. You know, at all. So they're, you know, perhaps sitting there telling you how horrible of a mother you are. And guys, if you're listening to this, because this was the situation, it had been going on for years. Not just something that just started. Come to find out, it's been going on for years. And I'm like, what? You know, hold on, that's not cool. For years, telling you you're a horrible person, you're a horrible mother, your kids can't stand you, they hate you, they think you're cold-hearted. Things like this that are being told to someone are. Does anybody think that's okay? That that's right?
Never.
No, it's gaslighting, total gaslighting. Manipulation and parent alienation all rolled
Mm-hmm.
together.
Yeah, that's another whole subject we could go over. I mean, you know, y'all know we've been witnessing this,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like, what the hell is going on? You know, and yeah, and I'm like, oh, so you've heard this for how long? Oh, okay. All while the person voiced themselves about how wonderful they are. They sit there and say how wonderful they are and how lucky you are to have them. while they tear you down. You know, and I'm looking at it and I'm like, I'm so sorry, because if you've been going through this for how long? And that's okay? Oh my goodness. So I said we need to take this back to some roots here, you know? Get back to some roots. You know, just saying, you know, because somebody says something they don't like, you tell them that they're childish and jealous. Now this was told, I feel so bad for her, I do, to a wife, I'm going to say who it is, but to a wife, when she approached a subject about another woman that was in secret conversations going on, without, and I guess this happened repeatedly, and his reply to her that she was just being jealous and childish. Having secret relationship with someone, whether it's a physical relationship or an emotional relationship, it does not matter. As soon as there has to be a secret, there is a problem. And that is their problem, not yours. You're not being jealous. You're not being childish. You're demanding, and this is what I told her, as a wife, you're demanding to be put first. And they're not capable of doing that. Y'all, don't let that go on for years if it's happening. Run like hell. Run like hell. Don't stop and think, you know what, eventually they'll put me first. Eventually I will be just as important as that person is to them. It's not going to happen. And what I've seen happen is it just got that person down so low that they started believing those things. Everything that was said to them, they started believing and feeling that they weren't worthy, that they were a horrible parent, that they were a horrible wife, they were a horrible friend to anyone. Which, you know, it kind of goes back to the whole thing of sitting there being told or going and telling everyone how horrible you are. Talking shit to anyone who will listen, right? I'm not talking about just going and talking to somebody and going, man, you know what, we're really having a hard time here. You know, no, you go and you intentionally talk shit to anyone who will listen to try to paint someone as this horrible, evil person. Especially if you call them evil, mean, delusional for years and years, right? This is just, it's not okay. But then, this is also what I was told too. Y'all remember this? But they also try to go to your friends. They go to your family, and they start talking shit to your family.
Mm-hmm.
Not just strangers on the outside, to you that are strangers, or to your children, talking shit to your children about you, and then lie to your face and say they don't do it. Huh. I'm like, oh my God, how could you be married to somebody like that? You know? It broke my heart. I said, oh my goodness. It broke my heart. But then try to move in on your friends too. What that is trying to isolate you.
Yep.
Trying to get it where, you know. And this thing I said, you know what? I'm sorry. Do you care what other people think? I don't give a shit what people think about me. You're a stranger. I don't know I have nothing to do with you. If you're going to go and base your decision off of someone by what somebody else is saying, shame on you.
It's about lack
Shame
of
on you.
control. When you've got friends around you, encircling you, they isolate you because they know that they've got no control over what your friends think about them. or what you tell your friends. So they'll isolate you away immediately because that stops them, like anyone bad mouthing them or hearing them being bad mouthed.
Mm-hmm.
You
Yeah, and they're
know?
like, oh, well, they can't control your mind thinking everyone hates you.
Yeah.
Everyone hates you, and, you
And
know,
if you've
like,
got
what the?
friends around they can't get rid of, then they try to make you out to be the bad one or crazy instead.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's like, oh, okay, you know, and go get therapy, you know, because especially if they're telling you, you need therapy, you need help, you're fucked up. This is another thing I heard was, you know, your parents fucked you up. What? He said that? You got a lot of trauma. What? Who doesn't have trauma from childhood, y'all? I mean, who doesn't have some kind of trauma, right? But to use that to beat somebody in the head with is absolutely atrocious. And that's yet another form of abuse. So let's just add that on. But, you know, what's interesting is when you go to get therapy or help, you may be told that that's a very abusive situation. What? You know what I mean? So you may hear things that maybe the other person may not want you to hear. Enlightens you in certain kind of ways. So that's why I told a friend of mine, I was like, you need to go get some therapy, get some help, because you may find out a few things with you. Sad things that you hear, y'all. Sad things that you hear. But these kind of look, and I know. Remember when she said she had made like 2 disparaging comments, and boy, was that hit on hard, wasn't it? They clung to that, and I'm like, well, why don't you say something to him about all the shit he said to you over the years? They don't see that. They don't care about that, right? It's all about them and, oh my God, you said this, it was horrible. What? Compared to what she'd been through for how many years? That was shit, wasn't it? I think so. So there was 2 that I clipped to go over. Can y'all hear me? There
Yes,
was
ma'am.
Yeah, we can hear
okay.
you, Annie.
All right. There was 2 I think that I clipped just to kind of briefly go over, you know, because the situation coming to light. I said, oh my gosh, there really are people really going through shit. And I think this stuff may happen a lot more often than we know. And how many people are going through this, men and women, you know, in their relationship. And it's like, these are red flags and you should be running like hell. You know, if you're told you're worthless, you do nothing, you partake in nothing, you're 1%, anything that you've been told like that, guys, it's not true. It absolutely is not true. Do not ever believe some asshole who's sitting here telling you how worthless you are. No matter how long they've been trying to tell you that, Mark, today is the day that you no longer listen to that and you no longer believe that, if you believed it. So the one that verbal abuse, and these are just quick, we can go further into them later on, it's fine. Verbal abuse is when a person says things privately or publicly to shame or humiliate someone or to make them feel scared or unsafe. This includes what they say and how they say it. Examples include ridiculing or humiliating someone, criticizing their appearance, intelligence, sexuality, religious beliefs, or ethnicity, critiquing their actions as a partner or parent, using cruel and abusive nicknames, swearing at someone, yelling and screaming at someone. Now, all of these are like bullet points that we can go over, and if anybody has, been through any of this, I know my ex used to love and scream and get in your face. Thought that being loud and boisterous would scare you into submission. Had things like not actual physical abuse, but grabbing a coffee cup out of your hand and throwing it and breaking your cup. Things like that. Those are not okay. Those are abusive behaviors. Getting in your face and yelling at you and doing this and that, and then when you say don't get in my face, and being told you're my wife, I can do that. Guys, that's not okay. Things like that are not okay. So I think hearing some of the things that I've heard lately, it really kind of brought up some situations for me, and I'm like, oh Lord, yeah, and these are all bullet points that we'll go over. And some of these, when it happens to you so many times and so frequently, you yourself may start screaming back, and you yourself may start going, you're not very smart. You don't have a brain, do you? And that might upset them. Okay? Might upset them. But these are, my situations are from my exes. So, it just, hearing some stuff brings it up, And another one, financial abuse. Forcing or pressuring a person to get a credit card or take a loan against their wishes. Using the person's name to get a credit card or take out a loan
forging
without...
signatures.
Yes. Yep, that's another one. Without their knowledge. Controlling what a person can spend their money on. Controlling a person's access to their own money, such as their wages or salaries. Using a person's money without their permission. Selling a person's property without their permission. Or not just selling, but throwing away their property without permission, discarding things without, that's not okay. And a lot of these, you can break it down further, You're never allowed to forge someone's signature. Doesn't matter if you're married, doesn't matter, you're not allowed to sit there and forge your signature and lie to them about it, because you will be found out. These are all things that may happen, and if they do, guys, it's not okay. It's abuse, and it is not okay. All while they want to paint you as the evil, crazy one, right? Perhaps. I don't know what this one. Oh, there's more of that one. Selling a person's property without permission, preventing a person from getting a job or earning money, demanding money, or taking possessions. So they demand money from you. And this goes down further as well. My ex, I know, would say, well, if you need money, just ask me. And this friend of mine kind of went through the same kind of situation. I said, honey, it's never okay to sit there and say you have to ask someone for money. This was a real kicker that I heard, y'all. Tell me about this one. Said she needed to go to the store, go to the pharmacy, and get prescriptions for her child. Needed a copay. Didn't know how much it was going to be. Didn't have fundings until payday. But her husband had them. And he said, oh, I'll transfer the money over. And I was like, okay. But, you just do it when you get to the register. Tell me how much it is. This lady had to stand in front of a pharmacist. She said it was the pharmacist, not a tech, not a cashier, a pharmacist, and tell her husband how much it was so he could transfer it over.
Yeah. And that's complete financial control and abuse.
Okay,
You know, you're
well,
trying to control it all.
here's the kicker. Also had to go to the register and get things. And I said, well, why didn't you just leave? And she said, well, I didn't want to hear the moaning and groaning, and they'd be mad because I didn't come home with what they wanted. So she got smart and she went to self-checkout on that one, so it wasn't as embarrassing for her, right? But here was the kicker. She told me that a couple months later, he needed money from her to go to the store. But she had got paid and he didn't. And this guy makes an absorbent amount of more money than she does. An absorbent amount more. And he was like, well, I need to go to the store and I need to get this, and can I get some money from you? Okay. She says to him, well, just tell me how much it is and I'll transfer it over. He had the audacity to say to her, well, I don't know how much it's going to be. Can't you just put money in there? Oh, no. She did a good one. She said, no. You just go up to, when you go to the register, you call and let me know how much it is and I'll transfer it over. And do you know what he said?
What?
He said, that's humiliating. Oh my God. And she said to me, she goes, that clued me in. He knew what he did to me was humiliating. And she called him on it right then and there and said, really? Well, that's what you just did to me like a month or two ago. Oh. I said, honey, right then and there you should have known. Get the fuck out.
Yeah.
I didn't say that to her, but that's what my thought is. You know what I mean?
Well, when you're
Somebody's doing that
married, you're
shit,
not
you
here
need
to
to get out.
be. Yeah, when you're married, you're not there to be hand pocket money or frigging, put on a stifling budget. It's embarrassing. It's humiliating.
Well,
That's what they want. They want the power and control over you, having to come to them and ask. They want you humiliated. It's so they feel big, you feel small.
yeah. Well, I mean, it's not even about, you should never have to ask for money,
No,
set
you
a budget.
shouldn't.
Set a budget and say, hey, here's, this is what we have for groceries. This is what we have for this, and that. And I'm just like, why would you put up with that? Huh. But I mean, I don't know. Usually if there's like secrecy, like and she told me, she's like, I've asked several times to sit down and go over all the bills, put all the bills on the table. And he'll agree to it and say, yeah, sure, we can do that. But then when she says, hey, can we do that now? He says, why does it matter? I'm just paying bills. It matters because you're supposed to be a married couple and you're supposed to be in unity and doing it together, right? So that's the response, and he's never done it for her. And I feel really bad for her, y'all. I really do. It's
Yeah.
ridiculous. If you're putting up with that, guys, get the fuck out, man. Put him in your ex and leave him in the past. That's what you got to do.
Mm-hmm. Leave them in the rear view mirror, as they say.
Yeah. I'm like, oh my gosh, you're putting up with what? Which, you know what, y'all? That's why it's important. If you can work, you work, honey. You work. Best advice I ever heard was, yeah, you know what? You work, you get your own account. You get it separate from them because they have their separate accounts, right? They've got their shit all hidden and tucked away. You get an account, you put your money in there. And you keep working. Don't sit here and why do you think I work? My exes taught me that really well. And they may belittle your job. And they may tell you how horrible it is. And they may tell you everything that's wrong with it. To me, that's being negative. But I mean, so I told my friend, don't quit working, girl. Don't do it. You keep going. You keep going. Do not allow that control to seep into your life. One, they don't like you working. because you got a support system out there they got no control over. You got money coming in that they got no control over. And why are they worried about your little piddly ass money when they have so much money coming in? I ask her that. Why? You make thousands more a month than you do. Thousands more
Because
a
they
month
don't
than
have
you do.
control over it. That's what it
Uh-huh.
boils down to. Get zero control.
Exactly.
Narcissists cannot handle not having control.
That's true. That's very true. Very true. So, y'all just buck up and just don't. You got a backbone, use it. Like I said, some of these, crazy. Oh, I gotta pay attention to chat. Nobody's paying attention to that. Oh,
Charlie
don't you
Kiddo?
know? Sorry.
I had to mute because the buffalo came through.
Oh, yeah. Uh-oh. Yeah, leaving is hard and dangerous. It absolutely is. They say that's the most dangerous time.
It is.
I know that. Yeah, I know that. It's, I don't know. That's why I said, I'm never gonna quit working.
Yeah.
I got my job. That's it. That's one that keeps me sane, yo.
Mm-hmm.
It keeps you sane.
Yeah. If there's any more domestic violence charity links or helpline links that anyone can drop or share, that would be appreciated.
Charlie Girl usually has those. So I don't know. Do you know how to drop
I
them
don't know
in?
if I still do. Let me check.
Yeah, you definitely got to have a plan. It's
Thanks, Little Texas.
Oh yeah, Little Devil. I've been through that too. Being stalked. Like what in the world? I don't know. Ah, thank you, LTT. Yeah, it's it's a sad situation, And I think it just, you start thinking about your, situations that you've been in, things that you've heard, and to where you almost started believing them, and to the point where it makes you feel like you're going crazy in a way. Maybe they're right. I'm going crazy. No, honey, you ain't going crazy. You're just tired of hearing the bullshit all the time. You're worthless. You don't do anything. I know I've said, oh, what, you think little elves come out and do all this? You think elves create everything? I mean, y'all ever had a spouse tell you that everything is theirs because they work and pay for everything?
Yep.
Oh, okay. And then they
Yeah, I
tell
had an ex-husband like that.
conflicting stories that you don't do anything and you're worthless, but then when you stop doing those things, they're pissed off. Well, how are you pissed off if I didn't do anything to begin with? That don't make sense either, y'all. It doesn't make any kind of sense. Which is it? Is it I do absolutely nothing? I'm worthless? Not even 1%? Or is it, oh, I do partake and I do things, I'm confused on that one, but whatever. There you go. So if y'all are going through anything like that, just run. When you start seeing those red flags, run like hell. Run like hell. And most of the time, those red flags pop up before you've said I do. You get so caught up, And if somebody tells you you're a very unforgiving person, you're not an unforgiving person because somebody did something that hurt you. And you remind them, well, you're doing the same kind of things now. Secrecy is never a good thing. When they sit and they say, don't tell your mom, it is never okay.
And that's
Keep
where
this.
parent alienation comes in.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Don't tell your mom. Don't tell your mom because oh my gosh. So they try to paint it where if your mom knows it's going to be evil, it's going to be horrible. She's just this atrocious person, and that's not okay. You don't keep secrets, And then I had a situation with my ex where I had to go and send thousands of dollars to one of the kids, right? Which is fine, but it's a secret. Don't say anything to your mom. Don't say this. Don't say that. This is my ex, okay? And once I found out a while later, that whole time they're sitting there, I don't have money, I'm broke, I need yours, I need yours. Oh, you need my itty bitty paycheck? All while sending money to someone else, and you're going to portray you're broke? No, that doesn't work out too well, does it? That didn't compute in my book. That's why he's my ex. One of many
Hey,
reasons, but I'm just saying.
hey, Chaos.
Hey, Chaos.
Hey, Chaos Queen. It's Sunday. Football's over.
Hello, Primary
And
Mom. I don't think we spoke to you.
Marie Mom. Hello, hello.
Hello, hello.
Have you ever heard yourself say, I know a friend of mine used to say it, and it just reminded me. It was like, have you ever heard yourself say things repeatedly like, I'm not doing that to you, don't do it to me. I'm not speaking to you that way, don't speak to me that way. Here's a big one, because it kind of happened, same situation. I was like, oh my God, is this all like the same on repeat for other people as well? I don't know. Rules are different for everyone but you. Have you ever had that? Where the rules for you and your expectations are different than anyone else's.
Yep.
Okay? Simplest thing. Everyone else can just come and go and leave as they please, not say a word. But the second you do it, you didn't tell anybody where you were going. Blah, 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 and it's a huge issue. Wait a minute. What? You've done this for how long? Years. And now you gonna sit here and get mad because I went up to the store and didn't say anything to you? Huh. That's controlling and abusive. So when the rules are different for everyone else but you, another huge red flag, y'all. Get out and run as fast as you can. So, like I said, there's a lot of different things on this domestic violence issue. And, if you say something to the person who's doing it, of course, they're laughing and smirking. And laugh and smirk at you. Yeah, right. Oh, yeah. So you're the one doing it. Blah, blah, blah. Oh my gosh, Or if you try to speak, they have to yell over you. And you don't get to get your words in while they just run their mouth the whole time. Guys, that's another form. Just run. It's not worth your time or energy if they cannot sit down like an adult and have open line of communication. And this was another thing that I went through a lot with my ex was you try to have a conversation and you tell them, no, you're just going to end up screaming and yelling. No, I won't. No, I won't. No, I won't. I'm able to talk. Guess what? As soon as you say something they don't like, they start screaming and yelling, blowing up. They're not capable of having a one-on-one conversation calmly. They're not capable of it. They don't have the maturity. They don't have the emotional ability to do that. And it's okay. They don't have to. But it's okay for you to say, I'm not doing this anymore. So when you look at it and you go, okay, I can't conversate with you because as soon as I say something you don't like, I'm having to walk on eggshells, right? So I can't have a conversation with you because you want to scream and yell and take derogatory remarks, and in every single time they can't take accountability for it. They have to turn it back around on you. Oh well,
Yeah.
you did da, 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 da. Okay, let's talk about the issue at hand here. And they can't do it. They can't stay on task because that would mean they have to hold themselves accountable. You're expected to be held
And they
accountable.
don't hear anything you say because the whole time you're talking, they're thinking of what they're going to say next.
Or yelling over you, saying whatever it is bullshit they're
Yeah.
spewing.
Hmm.
Okay, and so you've got that. You've got the fact that, hey, you can't trust this person. You cannot tell them anything. And in my mind, your spouse should be your go-to person. They should be the ones that you are able to tell anything and everything to, and you're safe, that it's not going to lead the two of you. Right? So they've already proven they can't do that. They got to go and immediately tell the other person. They got to say whatever it is you said and whatever kind of spin they're going to put on it. They're not going to explain why you're feeling that way. They're not going to, whatever, all so they look like the good person and you look like you're just this horrible
Yeah.
monster. Those are two big things. Just those two things alone, right? And then sitting there doing financial abuse where you are not on checking accounts, anything like this. And, guys, this just happens over time, right? It can go on for a while and you don't even see it when it's happening until your eyes get open and you're like, wait a second, hold on, You have all these things going, but they still think that you should sleep with them and do things, So let me get this straight. You can sit here and say how horrible of a mother I am. You can go and tell me how evil I am, how delusional I am, how fucked up I am, repeatedly for years, right? You can go and talk shit about me to other people. And this is just my situation with my ex, guys. And I do know that this friend of mine going through it is going through a lot of similar things. And you still think that I want to lay in bed next to you and do things that a married couple does? Those are things that push someone away. Why? If you cannot be safe with someone from your emotional aspects, I am not safe with you in any other kind of capacity. Oh, LTT, yeah. See, that's awesome. She said, I'm glad I have a very supportive husband that is standing with me through all of my stuff that I'm going through. That's awesome. You do need to have someone who can stand with you when you lose someone close to you. I know my ex when I lost my dad, because I have my dad and then I have my stepdad who I call dad. That's my dad. But my dad years ago when I lost him, a week after he passed, I was crying. A week. I had a moment I was crying and it was like, what are you crying for? I was like, I lost my dad. And it was said to me at that moment, it's been a week, get over it and stop crying.
He'd have been picking himself up off the floor.
Yeah. I'm sorry you went through that, Jukes.
Yeah,
And that's the
exactly. Yeah.
thing, like you said, Shining, you're treated like shit all day in one shape or another, controlled, gaslit, put down till you're feeling lower than low. And then they expect you or get upset with you when you won't perform, so to
Yeah.
speak. Or they get ratty with you because they're suddenly turning it on you like, how dare you be in a bad mood?
Yeah.
So you're going to ruin my day because you're in a bad mood. And they're the ones that caused it in the first place. So it's all gaslighting, it's emotional abuse, it's mental abuse. It's not okay.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's true, Rock Gods. I said that earlier. It can come from anyone. It's not just a spousal situation. But I tell you what, if I have friends like that, I'm really good about seeing that. I walk away. I walk away. You're doing what? Okay, I can't. You know, and I think when we're able to walk away from that, we should be able to walk away from a spouse who's doing that very easily, right? In my mind, I'm thinking, man, if I could see that from somebody else. But I think it falls under that thing of, you know, you're supposed to be, you know, supportive and understanding and forgiving and blah, 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 you know? I know that it was said to me by my ex when I had asked him not to get in my face. And it was said, "You're my wife, I can."
Yeah.
Bullshit.
My
Ladies,
ex-husband wouldn't headbutt me, but he would put his head against my forehead and
He'd have caught my
like
knee.
walk backwards until he had you right up against a wall, like forehead to forehead.
yeah.
Like just complete domination. Do you know what I mean?
And that's what that is. They think they can dominate you because of
Yeah.
their size, their loud booming yelling, and you know whatever. They have the right to do that because you're a wife, and to them you are nothing but a piece of property. That is exactly what that says, which sums up the whole marriage. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, exactly. That's why you isolate yourself. You have trouble trusting people. I tell you what, you absolutely do, and it is hard to trust again. And it's like, you know, especially when this person is telling you, you can trust me. You know what? I trust, all right. I trust you're going to fuck me over as soon as you get a chance. I trust that if I say anything to you about anything, you are going to run and go tell somebody else. That's what I trust. I trust that if I say anything to you about anything from my childhood, you're going to use that against me and throw it in my face and you're going to bump me in the head with it. That's what I trust. And then they wonder why you shut down from them and you don't talk to them. They may get mad because you talk to your friends. Well, for one, they usually want to talk to me. Maybe not all the time, but usually they want to talk to me. And they usually listen to me whether they want to or not. They may check out. I don't know. But if they want to communicate with you, and you know, you go there and go, hey, how you doing? Da 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 da, you know? Yeah. So you tend to talk to the people who want to talk to you, who don't think that you're a nuisance, who don't sit there and just get so irritated because your presence is there. That's who you talk to. That's who you turn to. You know, if somebody doesn't have the time of day for you until they can squeeze you in, nah, I don't do that either. I don't take crumbs, yo. I'm worth more than that. We all are worth more than that.
You
So,
damn straight.
you had to hand them over your pit. Yeah, Oh, yeah, my ex used to try to do that too, though. They want to keep it so you're broke all the time. Give me your money. Yeah, you know, like my friend. My ex made a lot more than I did. Yeah, Jenna, that's true. You withdraw from everyone and go into a shell. And you suffer in your own head. Can cause anxiety. Can cause you to have to go to the doctor and ask for some kind of something to help you with your anxiety. Hmm. Interesting, huh? And there's nothing wrong with going and getting some help, guys. Nothing at all. There is nothing
No, there
shameful
isn't.
about that at all.
Mm,
But what is
mm-mm.
shameful is when your so-called partner goes and tells people, oh, well, she started taking anxiety medication, and since then, you know, she's doing better. And then gets called down by the two people he told, said, hey, you shouldn't be saying stuff like that to anybody. That's very private information. If she wants people to know, she'll tell them. But that was a way to try and make himself look big and bad and all, ho, ho, ho. You know, like, huh, interesting. So when you hear somebody else going through something, it kind of brings up the shit you've gone through. Oh, Georgette, that is so sweet. Just thank the Lord every day for my husband. He's been by my side since day one. Oh, man.
Hey, Eliza.
Well, hey, Eliza. Yeah, it's not a funny life today. It's taking it back more serious stuff. Just certain things. And like I said, I'll go over and there's some books that I've read and like I said, the audibles are awesome because you can listen to them real quick. And you know me, I love a book. Y'all know. I'm a book kind of gal. I like to be able to turn the pages. I was raised on reading books and I love that. So for me to do it on I do have some loaded up onto Kindle, not
Yeah.
Kindle. Blah blah blah.
Hey,
And
Jenna.
it's harder for me to do those, but I do read them
Jenna's
and
in the
listen to them.
Hey,
I
Jenna.
know, I know. I said, didn't I say hi to Jenna?
I don't think so.
I swear I did earlier when she
Hey,
said
Eliza.
something. Okay, hi Jenna.
What was that?
Hey, hey, hey.
Hey. Did you want a link, Jenna? Did you want a link? Yeah, there's so many different things, And using, what's really sad is when somebody uses the kids to get to you. Do you know how abusive that is to do to your children? There
Yes.
was things, there was things that my ex did that I was just in total shock. Total shock. Mouth dropped open, going, I cannot believe you did that. You are harming these children more than anything. Are you kidding me? All while you're sitting there telling them how evil I am, how horrible I am, because I'm disciplining them. Oh, that's nice. Which causes a whole lot of other problems. Oh, that's sweet, LTT. That's awesome. How small the print. Yeah, a little double it. Yeah, I know. You got to pay attention to that fine print down there. It's like, oh, it's hard to read. That's why I'm like, I can blow it up. On my phone, I can blow those pages up. But as long as I don't have my glasses on, I can read them. I'm okay. I'm good about that. I can do it at a distance. I can read. But yeah, I figure we can do this because this situation has come up. And
Yeah.
some of the things I've been hearing, I'm like, oh my gosh, takes me back to my exes and whoo, doggy. And just the whole thing.
Yeah.
And this is the thing is when I said I don't give a shit what other people think about me, y'all know that's true.
Yep.
Absolutely. I do not want to hurt somebody else. That is never my end game. I don't want to hurt somebody else. Unless they're forking out shit, then I might just fork it right back, okay? But I don't ever want to offend someone. I don't want to hurt somebody's feelings. I don't, I really don't. But when it comes to how other people view me who don't even know me, I don't give two shits. I don't give a rat's ass. Because if you knew me, and I say this all the time, if you know me, you know who I am. You know what I'm about, but you would have to know me in order to know that. So if you're basing some kind of judgment off of me by whatever, right? Like by what somebody else is saying, or you hear me say the F word as I'm driving out the driveway or something. Yeah, I remember that. You want to
Mm-hmm.
pass a judgment on that? I'm not worried what anybody thinks. But you know what? The narcissist definitely is. A narcissist is all about how other people view them and what they think about them. That is more important than because they're not capable of taking accountability and saying, you know what, I screwed up, I did this, da 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 da. You know, they can't do that. They're not capable of it. And you're never going to get that from them. So again, Shut them out. Shut them out of your life. Get them out of your life. Do away with them, you know. Put them in the past, and that's where it stays. They're not capable of it. You're never going to get it from them. Move on. And no matter how bad you want to be able to get that from them, you can't. And it takes a while to really get that absorbed in your head because, you know, instinctually we want to prove, you know, no, that's not how it was. What do you know, when they're telling you you're rewriting the past, you're twisting shit. Nope. Guess what? I don't have to twist shit. But I don't care what other people think of me, but they sure do. A narcissist is hell bent on people thinking they're this wonderful person. And, you know, it's that whole thing where they show everyone else that they're this amazing person, wonderful, wonderful spouse, wonderful whatever. But yet, that's not who they are to you. They become masters at the trickery, right? Hiding who they really are in front of other people. That's not me. I am who exactly, y'all know this. Y'all know this. I am who I am. If I act one way in my home, I act the same way out in public. I've said it many, many times. I'm not going to hide who I am. If I'm upset or irritated about something, you're going to know it's going to be all over my face. I don't hide it very well. My expressions say it all, you know. My snide comment might reflect that I'm irritated about something. Which chances are, if I've said it to you, you already know exactly what I'm irritated about.
Facts.
Exactly. Facts. You know it, you know. Um, but I don't worry about what anybody else thinks of me. And for that to be reflected on you, oh my God, that was embarrassing, blah, blah, blah. Really? I'm glad it was embarrassing for you because it's not for me. They can come up and ask me, hey, what's going on? I'll explain it to them. I'll tell them exactly why I'm irritated. I don't have nothing to hide about it. So I don't even know you. I don't care what you think about me. Your opinion of me doesn't matter. I don't need to know what your opinion of me is anyways. It doesn't matter. I know who I am. And with my ex, you know, I think a lot of those things did kind of get to me. Like they really, you know, I was questioning myself. And you have to go on that journey where you find yourself again, you become you again. You don't become this person who's just been battered down by verbal shit that they throw at you. And you're thinking that you need to. Do we all need to work on ourselves? Absolutely. Do we all have things we could make better? Absolutely. But for someone to paint you as the devil, that is never okay, and that's abusive. Don't allow for it, guys. Do not allow yourself to be in that situation. And I just hope that anybody who's going through that sees it. You never look to someone else to find your worth. And in a way, I do think that you should be able to allow your own household for your spouse, your partner, right? To build you up, not tear you down. But that's a valuable lesson to where I don't care. I don't go to my husband to look for my self-worth. Absolutely not. I find that within myself. I know who I am. I know that I'm important to someone, which is me. Because ultimately, when it comes down to it, that's all you got. You know? That's how I feel about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Georgia, that's so true. You see him, you run because there's a whole lot more coming. And, you know, it's so easy to make excuses for them, right? To make excuses for them. And you can tell yourself all kinds of shit to make it okay, but it's not. It
The
really
thing
is
is,
not. Thank
sometimes
you,
we don't
Entity.
see the red flags until it's too late, and sometimes we don't notice the red flags creeping in. And I think the biggest thing really is once you do become aware that you're not being treated in a way that you feel you should be treated, um, that's the time where if you can't change that behavior or work through that behavior with therapy or whatever, then you've got to protect yourself from being emotionally, mentally, physically, or any other way abused. You've got to protect yourself from that and always know that it is not your fault and you have a right to stand up for yourself and advocate for what you know you deserve and what is right. You know,
Yeah.
gaslighting's the biggest thing, and they will go out their way to make you feel as if you're the one that's in the wrong or deserved what you got, or how you were treated. And often that comes from years of it being normalized, because the behaviour's been on for long periods of time where it becomes your norm. It becomes a norm for a lot of people where they become so broken down by it that it becomes their norm. And it sometimes can take people a long time to kind of get to that point of saying, wait a minute, this is not okay. And then
Yeah.
suddenly you start to look at other things and you're like, wait a minute, and when you do start to open your eyes and the tinted glasses come off and you're able to recognise all those red flags that you have maybe been missing, then that's when I'll always say be safe, get some help, and do what you need to keep yourself safe and protected. And always know it's not
Yeah.
your fault and you never deserve to have your self worth knocked down or beat down by any
Yeah.
partner.
No.
So always know your worth and know it's not your fault and you deserve better and you deserve to live a safe life. No one, I don't care who you are, no one, even if you can be a dickhead at times, nobody deserves to ever walk in eggshells, from have that feeling, that knot in your stomach from the second your eyes open to the minute they close again at night, because you're always wondering, what am I going to say or do
Yeah.
or breathe the wrong way that is going to trigger this person off? What am I going to do to catch backlash? You're always waiting on it. It's like waiting
Yeah.
on a bomb to drop, you know? So you're
Yeah.
constantly, even if you go a whole day without being abused, that knot in your stomach is there because of the long term abuse that you've had to deal with. So it creates
Yeah.
that endless anxiety of eggshells that you're dancing around. And nobody should have to live like that, wondering what's coming next or what mood someone's going to be in, or not being able to speak to someone about anything in case it sets them off into an abusive
Yeah.
manner.
Well,
Or
you know what I found recently, which I thought, oh my gosh, because I used to always think with my ex, he used to be able to do this blow up argument and just be pissed as hell, arguing back and forth, and then he'd go to bed and sleep like a baby. While, I'm sitting there just like a nervous wreck, anxiety ridden, you know, just oh my gosh, just really, and I used to think, how the hell can he go to sleep and he's just fine without a care in the fucking world, right? And it wasn't until recently I saw him, they're like, that's a total narcissist move. They don't give a shit about the chaos they created. The chaos is going on. They sleep just fine because they are satisfied with what just occurred. They're happy with what just occurred and they're able to sleep. And they're like, yeah, this is what I wanted. That was very disturbing to me to realize because I always thought that was odd. It's like, how could you do that and act that way and then you just go to bed and it's fine? How does one sleep like that? I don't know. But now that explains it. It's like, after all this time, I finally got an answer. Okay. Yeah, exactly, dude. Always looking over your shoulder. I know. Yeah, you shouldn't be with somebody you have to look over your shoulder or wonder what they're doing or what their next move is. It's not okay.
no, it's not.
Next time they're going to be blowing up, screaming and yelling, coming across the room, getting in your face. Oh, really? Okay. Not cool. Yeah. Interesting. So, all you can
Mhm.
do is you get therapy, you get help, you work on you, because you are the only one who can work on you. Nobody else can. You cannot work on anyone else. You cannot make anyone else
Yep.
change who they are, and that's okay.
Yep.
But you
You can go
can
for marriage
change.
counselling, but at the end of the day, you've got to work on your own self individually to kind of
Exactly.
figure out where you stand with things.
Well, here's the thing. My ex used to always say, "We need to go to counseling. We need to go to counseling." Really, it was you need to go to counseling. But then, that didn't have the effect that he
Yeah,
really
you're the
wanted
one that
either.
needs therapy, not
But
me.
yeah. But then when it
Ugh.
comes down to it, I don't have time. I can't do it. I can't do it. No, you don't want to go to counseling because you may be told that what you're doing is wrong, and God forbid you would hear that.
Mm-hmm.
God forbid
Totally
somebody may
agree.
say, "Hey, wait a minute. This is not all her fault. What are you doing?" You don't want to see your faults in what you're doing. So I think about it with my ex, and I'm like, man, I tell you what, ooh wee, it is just so shocking after the years. You still see things, and you're like, wow, really? Like, oh my goodness. So yeah, that's why I tell my friends, hey, honey, you need to gotta do what you gotta do.
Yep.
You're worth more than that. You definitely are worth more than that. You're not nobody. You're not nothing. You're not a doormat for people to come and walk in and all over. Absolutely not. And it doesn't matter how long you've been, going through it, how short of a time, how long of a time. You know that when you start standing up and you do see your self worth and you become confident in that, they do not like that at all. And it can get kind of scary because they get madder and madder and madder. The anger
Yeah.
really just boils out and seeps out everywhere. To the point, to the person that, if you're married to them, if you get married and you think, these are the hands and arms that are going to protect you, they're going to be the ones who are by your side. Would know the realization came when it was, those are the hands and the arms that are going to hurt you and try to destroy you. That's eye opening. That's very eye opening. Very sad.
Yeah. Well, on that note, quickly, beautiful, I'm going to need to jump down. It's getting late here, so
Yeah, I've got to get in here and we got to do these carnival games the kids wanted to make. So I've
have
got
fun
to
with
do that.
that tonight, beautiful.
Yes, I
Tell the
told. Hold
kids we
on.
said hi.
I will. They're dying to do the paints and the little skulls and skeletons and all the bats and
I
stuff.
bet.
They're like, "Ooh, I'm gonna do this." I'm like, "Okay."
Well, put pictures in chat so we can see.
I will, because I know they're gonna be. I'm not doing it though. I'm not doing it. I said, "This is y'all's. I just got the stuff to do it. Y'all have fun." They are capable of doing it, and I am not going to take it over in any kind of fashion. So I will stand back. Yeah. I leave my perfectionism to my crafts that I do, and I will leave their perfectionism to their crafts.
I don't blame you. Don't blame you. Well,
Hope
I'm going to
everybody
jump
has a good,
down and you all have a good night.
yeah,
Yeah.
everybody,
Yeah.
hope everybody has a good night. Love
Yeah.
y'all.
Y'all have a good one. Thank you for joining us tonight. And like I said, there are a few other subject matters I want to talk about, but this series will go on and we can dig more into some of the situations that occur with domestic violence that I think a lot of us do not associate with domestic violence or abuse. That because I know in my mind for so long it was, hey, the punch didn't land. It hit the wall. It hit the car. It didn't hit me. You know. Um, the words that are spoken to you, the derogatory remarks, the tearing you down, that is all part of it. And I think that is something that so many of us do overlook, and we do not consider it as part of that. And I do think that we need to talk about it and get it out there. And hey, if you're going through it, you're not alone. come and sit and have a cup of coffee or whatever your choice is. I do coffee. Y'all know that I drink coffee all day and all night. So y'all have a great night. Hopefully we'll do another live here shortly. That's a fun live because I know everybody likes. We all like to laugh and have fun and kick back. That's my go-to in life. That's the way I make it through things. And laughter is the best medicine after all. So y'all have a great one, and we will chat with y'all later. Bye.
Yeah, I will always be a warrior. You can't stop me, you can't stop me now. Yeah, I will always be a warrior. You can't lock me, you can't lock me down. I will not lay down my arms. Ready to be covered in scars. Cause I will always be a warrior. Late nights, get lost, hard work, the cost. Can't quit, can't stop. This world all cut off. Don't have time to waste, not now. Need to find a way to get out. Cause I'm gone in deep. Get lost in the weeds. You know it's all about the conquest. What's next? You gotta put the work in like you're obsessed. Think about what you want, what's your future? What kind of person would it take to seduce her? So what's next? Be obsessed with winning and your success. Make progress, this life is never promised. So feel blessed, live life, don't be too cautious. Trust the process. In too deep, I'll never quit. I wanna see this through. Yeah, I'm all in, and I will hold my head up high. Got what it takes to fight and survive. Yeah, I will always be a warrior. You can't stop me, you can't stop me now. Yeah, I will always be a warrior. You can't lock me, you can't lock me down. I will not lay down